TGIF. It's so pretty out right now, mostly sunny skies. And we'll get to the weather in just a minute. But it was a very pretty drive coming in this morning. The birds are chirping, the pollen is pollinating, and the noses are sneezing. But we're going to party here today. So our good friend Pete Wilson is here to start off the morning news update. Look at him. He's ready to party.
Yes, we're ready to roll. Ready to roll into the weekend, right?
You got it, buddy. And of course, Pete's morning news update brought to you by Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell, give Nia a call 740-418-4135 and she will work hard for you. All right, Pete has on his Jackson red today.
That's because the Ironmen are playing baseball tonight, provided they can get the field ready. I know we're not supposed to get any more rain, but my gosh, was there a lot of rain last night.
That was a mess last night.
I can tell you outside on Star Street, outside my house, it was raining very hard. Don't know about everywhere else, but...
Did you have the thunder and the lightning?
Had a little bit of that, too.
It was scary at our house. We had a lot of it, and boy... I mean, it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of pretty and fun, but then when it gets a little close, you're like, that's a little too close.
Right, and then when you lose your electric service, and, it's no fun then.
That's what Jamie said. It's all fun and games till the power goes out. Then it's not fun anymore.
That's right. Well, we made it through it, and weather permitting and grounds permitting, we will have baseball again tonight. We'll talk about that just a little bit later. But we're going to start off with some cautionary, concerning news about COVID-19. I know we're all tired of it. I know the mindset is that it's positive. The cases had declined from where they were really bad in January going into February. A lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people are getting vaccination. Mm-hmm. Everybody talks about the so-called herd immunity. But the fact is that the cases are going up a little bit all over. When we're talking about statewide perspective, local perspective as well. The latest report from the Vinton County Health Department, and this is where there's just a sprinkle of cases here, and there's not a lot. I mean, don't mean to be alarming, but this is a little blip. This is the latest infographic you see up on the screen if you're watching on TV or on your computer. In one day, from Wednesday to Thursday, this report was issued on Thursday, there were 5 new cases of COVID-19. Now, that is a pretty significant increase from what Vinton County had. They had been averaging pretty consistently less than a case a day or a little bit more than a case a day. This is 5 cases in one day. So, that's a 500% increase if you want to go by percentage. By perspective, back on April the 5th, that was last Monday, the latest report they had, if you are looking at a number of days through context, 5 cases in 5 days. Well, we had 5 cases in one day this time. Also, on hospitalizations, we went from 1 to 3. On active cases in Vinton County, from 7 active cases to 12. Now, obviously, this is relatively low if you look back to when we were in the worst of it.
Sure.
But, once again, it's up a little bit. We haven't had a new report from Jackson County for a while, but the last report we had back on the 5th, there were 41 confirmed cases in a 10-day period for an average of about 4.1 cases, which was actually a little bit better than it was the day the report before that. It's kind of been just a little bit of a yo-yo, but it had been lower actually than that 4.7 cases. Or 4.1 cases that it averaged when we got that last report on April 1st. From a statewide perspective, the governor, in his press conference yesterday, noted that the cases are going up statewide. The last 2 weeks, the cases have actually gone up. 2 weeks ago, they hit an all-time, not an all-time low, but a low for the long period after they went up. They had gone down to 146.9 cases per 100,000 people. The last 2 weeks, it's gone up, and it's now at 183.7 cases per 100,000.
Well, that's quite a bit.
That is quite a bit, and I don't think people are realizing that because, like you say, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping. We've about got this baby whipped.
That's right, and, we're vaccinated, and
Right.
It's been a year, so it should just all be over with.
Right, but not quite. Not quite. And these statistics are evidence that it isn't quite over yet.
Well, good grief, Pete. It seems though like as time goes on, there's going to be there's not going to be anybody left that hasn't had COVID.
Well,
you know?
that's kind of what you think when you think about it practically. But the vaccinations are the big thing.
Yeah.
They've reached most sectors of the population now have had a chance to get it. They will continue to have a chance to get it. So, all that is still good. But remember, everybody keeps asking, when are we going to get back to regular as far as, the way we live our lives and the rules that we are supposed to go by, the guidelines or the restrictions. Remember, the governor's guideline for removing the guidelines on the masks and the social distancing is 50 cases per 100,000. So we're going the wrong direction.
We're going the wrong way.
We had tumbled down to 146, and it was a tumble because we priced that at the worst. And now we're going back up, and not just a little bit, very clearly going back up. So we will certainly watch those numbers. Speaking of vaccinations, there are no big clinics today in Jackson County. There will be a clinic at Jackson High School on Tuesday, April the 13th. That'll be from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. This clinic will focus on anyone 16 years of age and older who has not received a first dose yet. Remember, we keep saying this. There has been clinics already this week at both Wellston and Oak Hill High Schools. Even though they're at the schools, these clinics are for anybody. And the next one, the next big one at the school at least, is at Jackson High School on the 13th. We don't have any schedule for what the health department might be doing at the Nazarene Church, but we expect more clinics there as well. But remember, once again, the clinics at the schools are for everybody, just not students or school personnel. If you are 16 or 17 years old and you want to get a vaccination in Jackson County or anywhere else, you need to have that signed note from a parent or guardian, or be accompanied by a parent or guardian who can give that permission. All right, so moving on to other news. Very important news about a young man who's been very successful as a school administrator in the Jackson City schools, and folks in the Oak Hill area know him well because he lives in the Oak Hill district, and he's a graduate of Oak Hill High School, and that is Philip Kuhn. Philip Kuhn has been the principal at Southview Elementary, I think, since 2005, and he's right in the middle of that picture there, third from the left. The reason that he's getting these pictures on our screens and then in our paper is because he has been named the new superintendent of the Gallia County local schools.
No way.
Right. That's
cool.
That's River Valley. That includes River Valley High School and South Gallia, I believe. So basically everybody in Gallia County except Gallipolis. So that's a pretty big school district and a big honor.
But Phil's been at Southview forever.
He's been there for a long time, I think, since 2005, and before that he was the assistant principal at the middle school. So a lot of people don't even remember that, but he has also been before he was in the Jackson schools as an administrator. He was a teacher in both Hillsborough High School and Oak Hill High School. So congratulations to Philip.
Good job, Phil.
Right, and of course that means the Jackson City School District will be looking for a new principal at Southview Elementary. So
do you have to be certified for that? Is that a
well,
you do?
There is an administrative certificate,
okay.
that you need to have, and of course
a degree or just a
right. You need to have your master's and all like that.
Okay.
But there's extra training, and then beyond that there is for the superintendent too. If you want to be a superintendent certificate, and even though a lot of people want to be a superintendent, it's kind of like a seller's market, because there aren't that many people who are qualified to do it.
Sure.
That's why you
see
some retirees coming back out of retirement to be a superintendent for a short time, because the district wants somebody who's not only qualified but experienced.
Mm-hmm.
So we will certainly watch that. Okay, of course, we had Mayor Randy Evans and Service Director David Swackhammer in last week to talk about the contractor registration legislation that is before Jackson City Council. Well, that is coming up on us on Monday. And I'm not going to go through all the details because I know you and they covered that very well last week. But this is a big thing. They want everybody to know what is coming down, to know what is proposed at least, so that when they come to vote on Monday evening, they've had 3 readings. It's not like this has just come up real quick. They really want to get the word out. That's why they wanted to come to talk to you. That's why they asked me to write a detailed story for the paper. That's why they posted a lot of information on the city website.
Right.
So the skinny of it is that if you are a contractor working in the city of Jackson, and that's well defined what a contractor is and what a contractor isn't, you will need to register with the city, pay a $100 fee, and this is something that is already happening in a lot of other cities, and the administrators feel that it will be a win-win for everybody. The citizens will have protection knowing that the contractors who are registered have their liability insurance, they have their hooked up with workers' comp, the whole 9 yards, and they're not some fly-by-night outfit or whatever. So that's kind of the rationale that the city folks have on that. And the contractors, for them, yeah, maybe some of them don't want to do that. Maybe some of them don't want to pay the $100 fee. Who would? But your name will be on the website, and people who go looking for a contractor will know that you do it. They'll know the type of work you do, and they'll know that you have the credentials and the insurance and the workers' comp, all that you would want in someone who's, you're going to pay a lot of money to do some work. So anyway, we want you to check out our Saturday paper for a detailed story there. We'll have it on our website as well. But that key vote is scheduled to happen at the next city council meeting. That is 7 p.m. This Monday evening. All right, we also want to report from Vinton County that the Jackson County Water Company is interested in possibly doing a project on Garrett Ridge. We've talked about Garrett Ridge before. That is a remote area in western Vinton County, not too far from Allensville. They don't have water lines there. They have to use well water, which is not of the greatest quality or not immediately available, or they have to truck water in or go to a vending station, which is nearby. Certainly not a convenience, if you're in that situation. So the Vinton County Commissioners have been looking for a funding solution. They think they may be able to use COVID-19 funds. They were in the ear of Governor DeWine when he was visiting the county a week ago. So they're very hopeful. The Jackson County Water Company, if it's feasible to do and the money is there, they are interested in that project. The Jackson County Water Company, they already do a lot of business in Vinton County as it is. So we're certainly following that one. All right, we want to congratulate and show you the winners of our 2021 Basketball Mania contest. And we've announced their names before, but
look at Oliver's so funny.
Don't they look happy? I would be happy. Have a little mad money there. It's almost like a stimulus check, right? Almost, because you can't count on it.
That's right.
From the left is our first place winner, Oliver Milliken, $300 richer. Second place is Jordan Morgan, $200 richer. And third place there on the far right is Grant Massey, $100 richer. And, young minds, young brain power, it must be what it's all about, because those are all young folks there. These grizzled guys who have followed basketball and think they have the perspective of time and all like that. They were beaten. They had their socks beaten. By the youngsters.
Is reading what the underneath. Can you put that back up for a minute, James? Did you read what they're going to do with the money?
I see that. It
says Oliver's going to spend some of it on basketball shoes. And then Jordan is a first-year college student, said money's going to go in the bank, very responsible to help with college. And then Grant, great minds think alike, also going to buy basketball shoes.
Well, see, Oliver and Grant, they want those shoes, and they know they can win this contest every year. And by then, they'll start saving for college.
I tell you what, if you want to buy some of those basketball shoes, that $300 isn't going to get you very far.
No, well,
I'll tell you what,
they're pretty expensive.
They are expensive.
Kids like that, they go and buy those shoes at retail price. They sit on the internet, they buy those shoes at retail price, and then they throw them up on eBay.
Hey, there you go.
Flip them. That's what these kids are doing.
That's
now.
what they should be doing. I'm proud of their little entrepreneurial spirits. Sorry, I digress.
No, that's all right.
Pete's gonna kill me. I just thought that was really funny.
Basketball big money in those basketball shoes.
I know.
It's
crazy. It's a statistical certainty. 67% of Basketball Mania winners will spend their money on basketball shoes.
No Wait, really?
Well, yeah. Well,
I
it's
mean,
right
look
there.
at 2 of the 3.
It's a 1-year statistical window that I'm going on.
Oh, I get it.
Okay, we've never asked that question before, but it's a pattern. And I guess especially, I don't know how old those kids are. They're young teenagers. I guess that's the trend: basketball shoes.
Basketball shoes it is for
See,
everybody.
then you don't have to get them from Santa Claus or somebody.
There you go.
All right, you can hit Santa Claus up for something else.
Santa can pass them on to some other kids.
All right. Okay. Well, we're a long way away from the 4th of July and Christmas, Jennifer. But the Jackson Firefighters Association have already kicked off their drive for fireworks money this year. Their fireworks fund. Now, the fireworks fund is not directly funded by the city. This isn't city money, even though the firefighters, are all members of the Jackson Fire Department. They collect this money from donations, individuals, businesses, etc. They don't do it all year, but they start the drive early so they can have the best fireworks demonstration possible. They're definitely going to have a fireworks display on July the 3rd. That's when the city of Jackson has always done it. They fire them from Eddie Jones Park. They're going to do that again for sure. They didn't do it this past year because of COVID, but they did do it this year. They didn't do it the year before. But Christmas, they did Christmas last year, and they're going to maybe do Christmas this year. It depends on the fundraising. They got
cool.
They got a lot of positive feedback about the fireworks display after the Christmas parade and the activities at Manpower Park.
Such a cool event, and so thinking outside the box to do that. I mean, you think of fireworks being in the summer, but it was so neat, and it's dreary and whatever, and you have these fireworks at Christmas time. It's just so cool.
Right, and of course,
that.
the way it worked last year, it was a replacement for
Sure.
not being able to do the gathering for the 4th of July. But now they're thinking, hey, that went pretty well, so maybe we'll consider doing that again if there's enough money. But if you want, the fireworks isn't going to happen if they don't, get donations in. But they do a good job on the drive, contacting people. They have some very loyal supporters in the business community, individuals, civic organizations as well kick in. They're usually able to get a contribution from the tourism fund, the city's tourism fund. That's not directly city income tax money or anything like that. That's a separate fund paid from lodging taxes from the local motels. And the figure is that this draws a pretty good crowd, and so there's a justification for the tourism board to support this project, the fireworks fund, and likely they will continue to do that. But if you want to donate to the fireworks fund in Jackson, you need to do that by May the 15th. That's so they know how much money they have, and they can decide what kind of display to have, what they can afford. Also project out on whether they can do the thing at Christmas too. Donations made after May 15th would support a Christmas time display or maybe the fireworks 4th of July the next year. Monetary donations may be sent to the Jackson Firefighters Association, label it Fireworks Fund, at the fire department. That's 152 Pearl Street in Jackson. All right, the city of Wellston has announced that its spring cleanup week is going to be May 3rd through 7th. Jackson's, as we told you, is the week of April 26th. In Wellston, customers can set out trash on their normal trash day that week. Fees for excessive garbage and large items will not apply that week, so it's a chance to get away some large items that you wouldn't normally set out to the garbage. That can include old furniture. All trash must be bagged and boxed and not exceed 50 pounds. Carpet and rugs must be cut into small pieces and bagged. We will remind you about that as we get closer to cleanup week in both Jackson and Wellston, but the rules are similar, but it is a once a year opportunity for a week in the spring. All right, and speaking about the city and about some disposable items, yesterday in Manpower Park, one of the flowering trees came down. It was all in bud already, or all blooming, and for some reason it came down. Now, we did have a hard rain yesterday. I don't know whether that was related to the tree coming down or not, but our James Hamilton was driving by, saw it, snapped that picture. Of course, that leads us into the hard rain that we had last night, and it was a big one. and we'll
It
just
was
have
rough.
right. Don't think there was any flooding or anything because all the waters were down and whatever, but it
Right.
really rained hard. Don't know whether I didn't hear about any other storm related damage in Jackson or around the county, but of course a lot of folks saw that in Manpower Park right there in the front of the park along East Main
I
Street.
just hate to see things like that. The living trees, something happen to them, but it does happen.
It certainly does. Also, the Jackson Band Boosters want to remind you that their virtual spring fling will be this Saturday from 10. It'll start at 2 p.m. The virtual spring fling you can get on the jacksonbands.com website and watch this, and that is when they will determine who the highest bidders were for 14 different items in a virtual auction they've had. That auction is continuing through today. Today will be the last day to do bidding. You can get online at 3 o'clock today. All bidding is on the band's website. All proceeds for these 14 items, and if you want to know what they are, just go to the website. Some really nice things. You have a chance to not only maybe help the band program, but to get something really nice, maybe for a bargain price. We'll just have to see. But regardless, it'll go to a good cause. 165 band members, it's expensive.
It is.
And of course, they haven't been able to do the fundraisers that they normally do.
Yep.
All right. Also, the Jackson County Health Department, in connection with the Gallia Jackson Vinton Meigs Solid Waste Management District, is doing that Tire Amnesty Day. They're calling it a Scrap Tire Day. That'll be down at the city impound lot in the baseball fields down there on West Main Street. You can turn in tires for only $1 a tire. And normally tires are hard to get rid of, but this is your chance to do it in Jackson tomorrow. That is from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tires can be on a rim, but they must be passenger tires. Please, no tires from business. Also, we want to tell you, as we try to come out of this pandemic a little bit, a group that has not been able to meet for some time. I'm not sure whether they had any virtual meetings. They're going to have a live meeting this Saturday, and I'm speaking about the Jackson chapter of the Ohio Genealogical Society.
I'm so glad you had to say that because I cannot say that word.
Okay, well,
I have tried
I
for
was
20
lucky.
years to say that word.
What word is it you can't say?
Well, what is it?
That word.
Okay, genealogical.
Thank you. The one that Pete said.
Okay. All right.
It does not flow from this mouth very well.
Okay. Well, anyway, they are going to meet at the Jackson City Library at 10:30 a.m. I've been to several of their meetings. You don't have to be a genealogy fan. I said it again, didn't I?
You did.
You don't have to
Makes
be a
me laugh.
genealogy fan or a genealogist to want to go to this meeting. They
No, it's so cool what they
have
do.
a lot of history and culture and
Yeah.
local information, and you can learn about genealogy, obviously,
That's
there.
true.
But it's not too
Really
technical, and they
interesting.
usually have a guest presenter. This time it's going to be Beverly Griffiths. She volunteered to do a presentation on the findagrave.com website.
What is
So-
that?
I don't know, but
Well,
you
you
can
need
go
to
to
go
the
to the
meeting and
meeting.
find out. Genealogical meeting.
What,
Ha
meeting-
ha.
The
what meeting is it you're
genealogical
going to,
meeting.
Jen?
The one that Pete said.
Right. But anyway, she is going
Y'all
to
are
talk
evil.
about applying the information on the findagrave.com to Fairmont Cemetery here in Jackson. So, I mean, I've heard from Ed Henderson, who's retired as the cemetery superintendent out there, there's 16,000 graves. There's more people who are resting in peace up there than there are alive in Jackson right
Like a
now.
lot more
That's
people.
how old and big that cemetery
That
is.
16,000
That's what I'm told.
people?
16,000.
Wow, I had no idea.
So I guess that would be a primary for a ghost walk, right?
It would.
If you can find one. But anyway, the group will be following the CDC guidelines. They'll be have the seats and the masks and all like that. But that is at the Jackson City Library in the Potter Room at 10:30 a.m. I know they welcome guests.
Very
Okay.
cool.
As for the red shirt, this evening at 5 o'clock, late this afternoon technically at 5 o'clock, the Jackson Ironmen will be playing the Greenfield McLean Tigers. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
There-
there you are, Pete.
Okay, on the left is the old right-hander, and on the right is the old left-hander, Dan Morrow, and he likes to dig me all the time. I'm 3 months older than he is,
Oh.
but anyway, we've been a broadcasting duo, or along with Danny Dobbins, a broadcasting trio for some time. He agreed to do the baseball with me since he has a little bit more time on his hands. It's made it a much better broadcast, giving me a little break when I have to say words like genealogical. But anyway, that broadcast will be at 5 o'clock this evening, and I'm thinking that we're getting some extra listeners because the Ironmen have been stupendous. They are
They're
7-0 now. Have
killing
not
it.
lost a game. 4 Mercy Run Rule victories.
4 mercy rules.
What is a Mercy Run Rule victory? That is when you're ahead by more than 10 runs before you play 7 full innings. So that's pretty good. They're cleaning up right now.
So good.
So of course, as I say that, this will probably be a loss tonight. You know,
Don't you
that
say
always
that,
that
Pete.
always happens. When you think you're so good that you can't lose, that's exactly when you lose. So I'm telling the Ironmen right now to not get the big head.
That's
But
right.
they have, they certainly earned some recognition and extra attention.
Yes.
And they do have the CDC guidelines at the games. It is a ticketed event, even though it's outside. They don't allow anybody in unless you have that parent's connection or whatever. It's restricted. So this is another way to tune in to see what happens with the baseball. That is on 105.3 FM at 13:30 a.m. So there we
Very
go.
good.
And we got a paper coming out tomorrow with all kinds of stuff in it, provided I
got it.
go downstairs and work a few more hours.
Pete, thank you.
You're very welcome.
You're the bestest.
Where are you going to go tomorrow morning, Jennifer? What meeting?
Arch and Eddie's. I have to work.
Okay.
Nice
all right.
try.
Okay. She's a smart girl.
That one that you said, Pete. All right. Pete's Morning News Update brought to you by Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. If you are looking to buy or sell or have any real estate needs, please give Nia a call, 740-418-4135, and she'll be out working hard for you. All right, new weather sponsor here on the program, and that is Zip Printing. And why, you ask, is Zip Printing? What do we need to tell you? Well, what are we coming up upon? Graduation, that's right. So Zip Printing is offering custom yard signs. And those are 24 by 18 two-sided yard signs for only $15 each. And many, many people used those last year. As you can see kind of up and down the sides there, what the yard signs looked like. And many, many folks use those as a way to commemorate their seniors and let people know how proud they are of them. They can also do banners, napkins with schools. So we'll tell you more about that as time rolls on. But if you want to shop today, you can visit yourtotalmedia.shop and find out some of the great senior items that they have this year. All right, as far as your weather forecast for today, mostly sunny skies in the forecast with highs around 78. I've heard as high as 80 as well on the forecast today. So we'll see. For tonight, mostly clear, lows around 54. And the rest of your weekend looks like some rain creeping back into the forecast tomorrow. 90% chance of rain, but those highs still up in the 77 degree mark. Tomorrow night, some rain overnight and lows around 51. Then on your Sunday, about a 20% chance of rain and highs a little bit cooler, but still very, very nice, around 65 degrees. And then the beginning of your work week looking absolutely beautiful as well. And once we get on to that, you're looking at mid 60s to low 70s. So I think that that's pretty good weather for this time of the year. And that rain, although it's a little bit a pain in the rear end, it is much needed to get all those gardens and the grass growing and all that so that you can spend all your life mowing. Yes. And spring's always so fun. You're out mowing your grass with your North Face jacket on.
Right?
I've done that before. It's so ridiculous.
We were in Chillicothe a few weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. I don't know what it was, but we passed a guy over on the other end of Chillicothe mowing, and he had his mask on, but then he also had a toboggan on because it was that really cold morning. I was like, that's dedication right there to be mowing
No, that's
in
Ohio.
the cold. It's true.
The old Jeff Foxworthy, you have to, you're in Ohio when you turn on your air and your heat in the same day.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what it is. All right, so Courtney and I both sporting our Total Media t-shirts today. So the reason for that is the cool thing, Zip Printing now can do screen printing.
Yeah.
And you, so the girls down there have acquired a screen printing way to do that. And so any t-shirt designs you need for your business or for your seniors or for maybe even like a club that you're in, or
Fundraising.
you're going on a cruise and you want everybody to match.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. So,
Yeah.
well, I mean, once the cruise is over.
Once you're allowed to cruise.
But, or if you just want a COVID sucks shirt or whatever, we'll make it for you right here.
Right.
So, and Courtney gets and you got to show it, you get the award for the cutest shoes today.
Oh, you want me to try? I can't get my shoes up here.
Yeah, you can. Stick your shoes up there. They're purple. Are they not so cute? I don't even know where you find purple Chuck Taylors.
Hey, just gotta know.
You go, girl.
Gotta match the shirt.
I've just
Gotta
got
a collar for each
right.
shirt.
I've got my boring Nikes on. You're not interested. Nobody is. But I will say they are comfortable. And I did not win the basketball thing, so therefore I can't buy new shoes.
I know. Shoes, like, Devin, when he was younger, was a shoe fanatic. Like, he asked for them for Christmas. He would, like, make deals with me. You pay half, I'll pay half. Like, so, yeah, it's just a thing with boys. They love those basketball shoes and Nikes and... Yep.
I mean, I guess they could like worse things.
I mean, we
so.
like shoes too, so don't
Yeah,
get me wrong.
girls
but-
like shoes. And the thing is, though, it's like, so with the restaurant and everything, like, you know, shoes get demolished. And
Right.
I've just run the gamut of, like, I don't like to buy new shoes because they just get ruined, so I wear, like, the old junky ones. But then it gets to the point where there's no insole or arch or anything
Right.
left. Like, you're just like, oh, my gosh, this is so uncomfortable. So I'm like looking the other day to replace some of my shoes, and unfortunately they're all needing replaced. And God, they're expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, you buy like Chucks or you buy Vans or something, and they're like $60, $70.
Yeah.
Like, oh, super.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But then if you haven't bought them for a long time, you have to like convince yourself that it's a good
you can
investment
divide
because
up
I
the
have them.
years that you've gotten
Yeah.
out of them.
Don't worry, I got you.
You sound like the female justification. I love it.
That's like when we went to the shoe store. Mike went to look for a new pair of shoes because his was like getting kind of holy, and he gets like one, and I end up with like 2 pair coming out. I'm like, I haven't been to the shoe store like since last year,
Right.
so it's
Like,
fine.
I had to buy something. Or the old female, well, it was on sale. I had to buy it.
Right.
Justification.
Yeah, I don't think mine were on sale, but
Well,
All right.
But-
Speaking of basketball shoes, and you said how expensive your shoes were, Jen.
yeah.
Said they were like $60 or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, here is the new LeBrons. These are the LeBron 18 Play for the Future, and they're $225.
Does that say
$225?
$225
Yeah,
for shoes?
yeah.
Hmm.
So you
they
think this
better
is what,
like
you think this is what Oliver's got his eyes on?
maybe I don't know.
You have to ask him.
I'll have to ask him.
I mean, you got to be kidding me. Like,
I mean,
what
if
is
it makes
so
you-
good about those shoes that they cost $225?
It says LeBron on the.
Because
The
it
back.
says LeBron on it. For sure.
Say if I wear them, they better like then I could actually play basketball.
Right. Like, I should be able to dunk with those shoes on my feet.
Yeah, something besides the toddler-sized basketball
Right.
hoop.
Other than the knee hoop that you
Right.
run around your knees and play, yeah.
So, Jen,
Yes.
did you see the sad news this
I
morning?
did. Breaking news, and you know, Prince Philip has passed away at age 99. Of course,
Only a
husband of
Few
Queen
months
Elizabeth.
away from being 100. His
That's
birthday was in
right.
June.
Yeah, his birthday, 100th birthday in June. They were planning on a very large celebration. His health has gone down over the past several months, and unfortunately, he just didn't make it to his 100th birthday. But I didn't realize, I was listening to some of the stuff as they were doing breaking news this morning.
Yeah, that's a picture of them on their honeymoon. They were
Look.
married for 73 years.
So evidently he is quite the character, and they had to They had to go back and do a lot of cleanup after some of the things that he said over the years.
Yeah. Good for him.
And it was so funny because they had some royal experts on this morning, and when I say it's funny, it's not funny of his death. It's funny of some of the stories that they're
they
telling.
told.
And in Britain they're so proper and whatever, so they're like, he would say a bit of sometimes he would say some racist comments,
Oh, no.
and we would have to cover them up. And it was so funny, like listening to the people talk about it, because evidently he was quite a character. And they're like, and he's nothing like his son, who is a bit more sensitive. And I'm like, so what they're saying is Prince Charles is a great big fat wimp, is what they're saying, and no fun whatsoever.
Well, if you watch The Crown, that kind of, I mean,
haven't.
not like that's an actual factual
Right.
documentary
I
or anything,
tried.
but
To start watching The Crown recently.
yeah,
Not for me.
couldn't get into it.
Not for me.
I just
loved
don't.
it.
Yeah, I'm just not that into the royals too. But more than 70 years, they were married in what, the 40s?
Mm-hmm.
And you think about that, and that's something. And you think about, so he was born, and I didn't realize this, into royalty in what country was it? Not Egypt. He was born as a royal into another country, and he gave that up to basically be.
I think that's what the first episode of The Crown is about, but I don't remember.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
don't remember.
remember.
The country.
So
The
if you think
details,
about
so
it,
that's the
he
plot.
gave up his own status to become second, to be the queen's
Right, which I
second.
think, like in The Crown, again, not a factual documentary and of any
Megan Malone to the
means.
rescue.
Greece.
Yes,
Yes,
Greece.
thank you, Megan. Go ahead.
I think they thought they were going to be able to be a married couple for quite a while before they were going to have to be forced into that life,
decision,
but that
and
did not happen.
It did not happen, as the queen's father, who was the king at the time, died very, very suddenly, and literally a few years into their marriage, they were thrust into being the queen and prince. And it's. So you want to talk about a Greek god? If you look back, and you can see he was a very, very tall, very, very handsome man, and evidently quite funny. So they say that he and Harry are very close, and I could see that Harry probably took more of that
Yeah.
that line of grandpa versus, the other. William's more probably,
Well, he
straight
kind of has
laced.
to be. I think you're
yes.
in line to
You've been
be
groomed to be king.
king.
Harry's like, whatever, I can do
Yeah.
whatever. I'm gonna be like grandpa and just
Yeah.
do whatever I want to do.
Got to
So.
be less stressful to
Yep.
live that life.
Yep. So, but Prince Philip, unfortunately, passed away this morning. For 7 decades, think about that. He's been at the Queen's side.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And to
The-
give up your own royal status that's a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. That's love, baby.
It is love. It's so precious. And to be someone's right hand man or confidant or whatever. And it was discussed this morning that folks worry a lot about the Queen without him, because they've been together for so long and they were so close, and they worry about her.
Yeah, well,
moving on.
you see that in couples that have been married so long anyway, so you do wonder when one goes, the other one seems to pass very,
Very quickly.
shortly or quickly
I've seen
after from a broken heart almost.
that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So you do
So-
wonder.
We'll see.
But she's a pretty strong lady.
She's a very tough lady. Yes, she is. And she just got some new corgis, so she has to take care of them.
I mean, come on. I mean, if Queen Elizabeth, if something should happen to her and you
That's
need
right.
somebody to take these corgis,
We will
ship them to
sacrifice.
us.
Yes. You
Heck,
have no idea.
We will come
love
over
them.
and get them. We have been almost fully vaccinated,
That's right.
so we'll take one for the team across
I will
the
be-
pond.
I wonder if they come with like their own
Handler?
trust fund.
I mean, one would think.
And
But
if it's a girl corgi, do they have little tiaras for their little heads?
if they don't, they will.
I mean, they might not at Buckingham Palace, but at our house they will.
Yeah. Here they will for sure.
That's exactly right. No, it is very, very sad. And so the first thing that
Sorry.
crossed my mind.
Face reacted to a very loud
James.
vehicle on Main Street.
Oh,
That's
is that,
why I can't be on this, because face reacts. Sorry. James was laughing at me, I think, when
at
he
the-
saw me.
Was
I
that
was
a motorcycle?
laughing at like the dude revving his engine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
His reaction
very
was also
loud.
funny.
I'm like, you're in the middle of town. Why do you have to rev your engine
Where
and
are
go
you
100 miles
going?
an hour down
To
the-
get
like,
to the next stoplight.
Like,
just
what is
a block
lacking?
Like,
away.
you're literally going like 100 yards before you have to stop.
Stop
Right.
again.
Like, what is small or lacking in your life that you have to make up for it by revving your engine? I'm just saying.
I don't
We I wish I would have taken a picture of this. We saw a guy driving down Main Street a couple days ago dressed like a dinosaur on a motorcycle.
Oh
Nuh-uh.
yeah, he was riding a bike. Had one of those. It was like a
It was like
one
a
of those
onesie.
things that you
Nuh-uh.
get like
I
at
think it was like a
Walmart.
dragon or a dinosaur or something.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
you never know what you're gonna see
You don't. Out the weather window?
out the weather window.
For
It was
sure.
a nice day that day. Maybe a bit of a chill in the air, hence the onesie.
And so I was going to say, was he hot or cold or what? So, oh my gosh, I don't know. But, yeah. So I saw this story this morning. Like, Kelly Clarkson has no filter, right? Like,
Yeah.
she's pretty funny. And
Yeah.
I will say
I
that
think
I
I
enjoy
like her.
watching her talk show probably more than most, because I feel like she's just real and probably splurts out of her mouth like way more than she should.
Yeah.
But it's like heartfelt, I feel like, and she's
Right.
just doesn't have any pride. like she's not all uppity, and she just tells stuff. So anyway, did you see what she did when she was talking with Clint Black the other day?
I did not see that. I saw the headline pop up, but I did not read it. Something about a bathroom? Was that right?
Well,
No,
sort of, yes.
Sort of.
So she's interviewing Clint Black, and during their chat, Clint was talking about an episode of his talk show.
I didn't know Clint Black had a talk show.
I didn't either. Talking in Circles is what it's called, and he was promoting
I'm
that.
Just, if they let us have a talk show,
That's
They're
true.
gonna
Clint
let-
Black can have
I mean,
a talk
anybody
show.
can have a talk show.
Well, I don't know if they're letting us. I don't think the word's got out yet. So shh.
Yeah. It's just that no one shut us down yet, James. Singer Sarah Evans was on his show, and she was talking about an incident, which you have to think as a performer, this has to happen at some point. You know, you can't control sometimes what your body's doing, right? So she was talking about how she had to urinate during a performance.
Okay.
And so Clint's like, I think I could say this. How many of us haven't peed on stage? Like, and he's talking with Kelly Clarkson about this. Like, you know, you run back real quick and you have to go. And I mean, you know, it's your body. You can't always control it. So Kelly comes out and says, he kind of asked it as a rhetorical question, but she said, well, I'll tell you right now, there was one time it wasn't pee, my friend. And she said, I got some kind of wrecked up. Now you can hear Kelly Clarkson. I got
Right.
some kind of wrecked up
Right.
from some kind of food. We were in an arena, and I shouldn't tell this story, but like I said, my man, I don't have a filter. She said I had to run backstage to my quick change. I grabbed this poor trash can, and boy, I destroyed it. It was bad.
Celebrities.
It was bad, Clint. Then she said we might need to edit this out, but I'm just saying it happens. What are you supposed to do? And then Clint Black sat there for a minute, and he said, I'm just trying to visualize. Hang on.
Celebrities. They're just like us.
That's right. I mean, at some point, like, you would have
Right.
to think, when you do all these live performances, there's going to be a day where you're out on stage and all of a sudden,
I have to say, like,
I mean,
performing on stage like that and going to all these different arenas and all these places that they go perform.
that's right.
Like, I feel like in our head we have it built up to be like this, like, such glamorous life, but I bet it's like I bet those changing rooms, it just
Oh,
I bet like they're
like-
sticking you in some conference room somewhere
that's
and
right. With a trash can.
With a
and,
trash
you
can.
probably some like hot dogs or something that God only knows where they
Yeah.
came from and, whatever.
I'm
and
just picturing every scene from the movie Spinal Tap right now.
Spinal Tap. I've never
Yeah.
seen that.
You've never
movie.
seen Spinal Tap?
No.
Oh, are you?
I
neither of
haven't
you guys have
either.
seen-
we're gonna got
Well,
something to
it's
do
about-
on our
it's-
rainy Saturday.
It's
Chris, you'll be
about-
working.
It's about like a band that has like everything that could go wrong.
Oh.
But there's a scene where they like get lost in the back of the arena and can't find the stage.
I
and
can
they
see
just-
that, dude. Yeah.
I could totally see that. Yeah.
That's why you've got handlers, I guess.
I'm just visualizing that scene from Dumb and Dumber.
You have to be more specific.
Where
Oh,
he
I
gives
know.
him the
Yeah.
what's it called? Like Megalax or something
Yeah.
to be mean.
I have to say, Matthew McConaughey like hosted some music or some fundraiser for Texas, I think, when they went through that ice storm.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I think, were sharing. Was it Post Malone that did a couple country covers? I think it was him.
Yes.
Well, Kelly Clarkson sang a song in there, so if you can YouTube it, you have to look that up. That girl, I don't know why she's not still singing, which maybe she is, and I just don't realize it. But
She's
that
so uber
voice,
talented.
oh my gosh, this
If-
song that she sang was just awesome. You have to look it up.
She is so talented. Even so, she was the first American Idol, if you think about that, like
Right.
way back when, and deservedly so. If you, I didn't watch it, but then watched clips going back, and I mean, she was hands down by far the best. But even when she's on The Voice and she's trying to explain something and starts singing to
Mhm.
try to explain something, you're just like, you are just an angel.
Yeah.
But she's so funny, and that's what I like love about her is she's so just
Still seems personable.
real. Yeah, like she doesn't seem all
Right.
snotty or anything. So, but yeah. So I thought that was really funny that she took time to share that because it's happened to all of us. Let's not
Right.
say that it's I don't know about the trash can, but like I mean, people are people, and we can't always control what happens to us.
Especially if you eat the wrong type of food.
And you think about you're out there performing and you're jumping around and you're
Shaking it all up.
yeah, you're shaking everything going.
Yeah, don't
Coming
drink
and going.
coffee before you've got to go on stage in front
Yeah.
of like 10,000 people.
Probably not start a movement with that, yeah. But anyway.
So,
Um,
have you talked about the Kardashians photo and how they're like all in a
No, I don't even know about it.
somebody posted, I don't even know which Kardashian, so I don't know a lot about it, but somebody posted a rogue photo and it wasn't photoshopped or anything, and the Kardashians are losing their mind about it.
Oh, we need to
So-
find it. Get to it, James.
Is it Main Street TV appropriate?
Yeah, she has a bikini. It's not any worse than the halftime whatever we showed that one time.
Oh, with Miley Cyrus's
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah.
Where
I
she had on no
personally-
clothes.
Like personally, I didn't even recognize it as as this picture being a Kardashian.
Is it the one of Chloe in the bathing suit?
Yeah.
And she looks all just distorted and weird.
Yeah, she looks a little distorted, but if I looked like that, I'd wear a
Right?
bikini like that too. Like even without Photoshop, she looked fine to me, but yeah, I guess she came out with a explanation as to why she photoshops her photos. And I mean, it's her prerogative. She can put out there what she wants, but she just talks about how people constantly, and I would imagine this too, like any photo they put out, like somebody's commenting on it, and if it's a bad photo, it's even worse. So
Correct.
like for her sanity, I guess maybe she photoshops them, but
Well,
Is this the one you're talking about?
nope.
Okay.
no.
Let me see if I can find it and send it to you.
It was I think is it the one of her like sitting in a hot tub or whatever? Or are you talking about a different one?
No, she's just standing by a pool.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of a different one.
Which
then.
it's crazy too because like they tried to pull it and I think it made it worse because
the Kardashians.
all their fans started sharing it right away.
Oh no. What? How on earth? They are brilliant. How on earth do you make millions and millions of dollars off of just claiming that you're a celebrity? It's so brilliant.
Right. Yeah.
Like, how are you even famous? It's so wild. Like, good for you, but I'm so envious.
I found it, but I can't get it to.
Well, you know, people can be so cruel to just celebs in general. Like,
right. Yeah.
did you see back at Christmas time when Candace Cameron Bure, who's the queen now of Hallmark Christmas movies,
Right.
posted that Christmas picture of her family?
No, I did not see that.
Maybe James can find that one.
Who is
James
it?
is like, oh
Candace
my
Cameron
gosh.
Bure, and she just look up Candace Cameron Christmas photo, and it's basically her and her kids and husband all like on this porch, and they're not smiling, they're just like looking like serious, and people are like so mean about it. They're
Well,
saying,
probably, and then if they would have smiled and looked jovial, people would have been mad about that because of the
right,
current situation we're in. My family can't smile. Why are you allowed to smile?
right, and so she's like, I just posted a Christmas picture of. It is a bizarre picture, I will say that, but I mean the fact that they took people like lost their minds about it, and they're like, "Oh my God, how robotic are your children even real?" Because they look like robots, and
That one?
yeah, there's a picture. Like, see how they're.
Well, I will say the dude in the sweater sitting down does kind of look like a robot.
He does kind of, and the girl like.
I don't
mean,
think
it's
that looks bad.
it's a
It's a
different
nice. She's smiling.
picture.
Maybe the kids didn't want to be there. Like had things to do.
I think it was more of just like strike your own pose, man, and be yourself
Yeah.
and whatever. And they're a beautiful family, and I don't know. I felt like really bad because like, what have you done? Like to, I mean, you're the queen of Hallmark Christmas movies. Like, how can anyone say anything bad?
Right. I guess that's it. Like their kids that should have been like the perfect Hallmark picture is
Yeah,
what they
like-
wanted.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's
Did you find it?
here's
Oh, you found it.
Courtney's bikini picture.
Okay.
See, that doesn't even look like a Kardashian to me, but I think that's supposed to be
Oh.
Khloe. But I mean, if I look like that, I'd wear that. I'd post that picture all day long.
Heck yeah, girl.
Right.
And it's like, oh,
But I
is
get it.
because it's doesn't have 42 filters on it, and
Yeah,
like look
there's-
all hazy
yeah.
and.
Yeah,
Perfect,
I
like-
guess.
I mean, I think that's nice that girls are taking pictures like that and posting them, and understanding that everybody doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
And how about Victoria's Secret and Venus and all of those now putting like the
Yeah.
in their magazines and whatever. I think that's fantastic. And because it gives you a perspective, like, I really like that bathing suit, or I really like that outfit.
But when it's on somebody that's not my body type,
When
how do
sh-
I know what it's going to look like on me?
Right. So here it is on this girl's body type, which is way closer to what I look like.
Yeah.
And this is what it's probably going to look like on me. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like Old Navy kind of always did that. Like you could always scroll through their pictures and it would have a couple different
That's right.
body
And
types with that.
have you noticed now some of like Old Navy, and I think it's Gap, and they're all owned by the same company, but you can actually select, do you want the size 4 model or like the size 14 model?
Mhm.
Which,
I've seen that on men's websites recently.
which model you
too.
want.
Yeah.
And I think that's so fantastic. And that way you can see like what's closer to what you actually look like. And let's be honest, are way closer to the 14 than the 4. And
Yep.
so then we know what it's actually going to look like on a real person.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a fan of that for sure.
So the days of body shaming and whatever, I think are over. And as long as you're healthy and happy, what does it matter?
Coming out of COVID,
I mean,
ain't nobody bathing suit ready. Not that I ever was, but
oh, I wore shorts yesterday for the first time, and I am so pale. Like
We're
I didn't
pale,
realize
we're
it.
pasty.
I like didn't pay any attention, and I got here, and I'm like,
My
I
legs,
am
where are they?
so like they are glowing white.
I am always pasty. I am either a nice shade of white or a nice shade of pink
Of
because I
red.
don't tan anymore. It's always just
I don't understand that. That's a good. We should do some follow up on that. Like when I lifeguarded for the 3 years that I lifeguarded, I got so tan and like I could be in the sun for like 1 second and just go right back to being completely tan. And I couldn't tan now for anything. Is it
No,
like
I
do
don't
you
know if-
condition your skin to tan or
I don't know. 'Cause, yeah, when I was younger, I would get
Oh.
a nice tan. And the crazy thing is, too, though, like tan skin is actually unhealthy skin.
it is?
But yeah,
why
in
does
our
it look,
minds, it just looks so much better.
it's like I've always laughed. I'm like, oh, my tan fat looks so much better than my white fat.
Yes. But it's actually healthy. You're cooking yourself. But yeah, you're right. Tan fat looks so much
It
better
looks so
than
much
white
better.
fat.
I think there's a
Or like lightly pink and just splotchy. Definitely that fat's not great. 'Cause that's what I
think
always look
all
like.
that does is just accentuate our dimples. But I don't know. I feel like there's like that happy medium where you obviously see people that tan way too much.
Yeah,
But I feel like having like a healthy glow
does look healthy.
does look healthy.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
do wonder if it's age or if it's just the environment and the sun's just
I don't-
brighter and hotter now.
I don't know because again, when I lifeguarded, I could be completely white, go back to the pool, go to open up the pool, and like in 2 days be completely dark.
Yeah.
And I could spend every day outside all summer long and not look like that anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah. My sister-in-law Candace always has a beautiful tan. Nice, and
One of those people.
she gets nice. So we'll wait and I'll see how she ages.
That's
Maybe
right.
she'll be our science experiment.
There you go. Need to watch out for Candace. All right. Before we get out of here for the day, did want to thank our friends at the shop, Chip and Kathy Smalley. If you have any events coming up, to open back up again, maybe a car show, maybe a county fair, or maybe a festival, or any kind of event that you might need plaques or trophies for, or engraved items, please consider Chip and Kathy Smalley. They've been doing this for at it. Call 988-2841 and have them give you an estimate or talk to you about doing that custom engraving for you, and they do a fantastic job. Also want to thank our friends at the filling station Nelson and Quick Stop, where they do have that crispy crunchy chicken. They have the Hoser's Pizza. They have all of those great items, and of course the best gas prices around, so stop in and see them there. And our good friend Carman, the Carman at Mark Carman at Carman's Used Cars. Visit their website at carmansusedcars.com, and they always have around 70 vehicles on the lot. He has some passenger vans right now, like big passenger vans, and he also has some fun gas saving vehicles and so whatever you're looking for, please give Mark a call or one of the gang, and they'll be happy to help you out, find you your dream car. All right, well, Miss Courtney, thank you for coming up today. It was good to spend time with you.
You a lot next week because Mr. John Boy is on vacation.
He's on vacay.
Yeah,
Some much needed
so-
time off, and I think that's fantastic. And
Got some feelers out for some guests, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. But we'll see.
we'll see. Lots
Yeah.
and lots of fun. So have a great weekend, everyone. James, have a great weekend.
You too.
Thank you for pushing all the right buttons, and we will be back on Monday. So enjoy some sunshine today, and we'll see you back then on Monday. Bye-bye, everyone.